Good afternoon. My name is Belinda Escobosa Helzer, and I'm the director of the Orange County office and soon to be opened office in San Bernardino. President Johnson once said that the vote is the most powerful instrument ever devised by man for breaking down injustice and destroying the terrible walls which imprison men because they are different from other men. But what if you use this most important instrument and time again, you discover that your vote does not count? This is what happened to thousands of Latino voters in the city of Anaheim. Their vote did not count. Despite their continuous exercise of their fundamental right to vote, their voices were not heard. Their city council does not represent their community and are not responsive to their needs. Why? Because Anaheim has an at-large system of election where the city's voters vote for all 5 city council members. Anaheim is the largest city in California that still holds at-large elections. This archaic election system impairs the collective power of Latino voters because they cannot overcome the affluent white vote. As a result, the affluent areas of Anaheim have more libraries, parks, community centers, and fire stations, while working-class Latino neighborhoods lose parks to that dump site so that a dump site can be built, and that many residents are displaced when the city agrees to make room to an expanding Disneyland. For decades, Latino residents have tried to persuade the city to voluntarily change its discriminatory election system, or at least put the issue to the voters to decide. But the city continued to refuse. So in 2012, the ACLU of Southern California, along with our friends at Goldstein, Borgen, Dardarian, and Ho, and the law offices of Robert Rubin, brought an action under the California Voting Rights Act, which resulted in forcing the city to place 2 initiatives on the November 2014 ballot. One was to expand the seats of the city council from 5 to 7. The second, to change its voting system to district elections, where voters elect a candidate from their district to be their voice on the city council and be responsive to their needs. Our team could not have done this without our plaintiffs, who were willing to take on a powerful government and an entrenched big business lobby so that 170,000 Latinos in Anaheim can be heard. We would like to thank the courage and tenacity of Consuelo Garcia, Jose Moreno, and Amin David, who have been lifetime community advocates in Anaheim. Amin is here today, and I'd like to recognize him. Amin. The ACLU could also not have brought this case without the talent and dedication of the lawyers at Goldstein, Borgen, Dardarian, and Ho, and the law offices of Robert Rubin. Mike Baller, Laura Ho, Katrina Ogland, and the rest of the staff. And Robert Rubin, a civil rights lawyer who started his career in 1979 at the ACLU of Mississippi. It is with deepest gratitude and with great honor that I present the Voting Rights Award to my friends.
Thank you, Belinda, and thanks to the ACLU for this honor. And I really want to congratulate the ACLU and all the honorees and awardees for your amazing work. I can't wait to hear all the other speeches and cases that are coming up. And I want to give special thanks to Robert Rubin, because without Robert and his friends who wrote the California Voting Rights Act, this victory would not have been possible. On a personal note, Robert is one of my inspirations to dedicate my legal career to civil rights. I met Robert when I was in law school, and we were suing the US government because of their treatment of Haitian refugees, and we spent some time on Guantanamo together, and really, he really inspired me to keep going on this route to work for civil rights. And of course, and our clients in Anaheim, this case couldn't have worked without you, and there is still a fight ahead because Anaheim voters now have the chance to vote to change their system to be a district election system, and that's going to happen in November. And I know that Amin is out there making sure that this victory will be complete. For lawyers, a lot of what we do is write things on large reams of paper, which is what Amin was commenting to me. You guys wrote a lot of words. And yes, we did, but they must have been really good words because it caused Anaheim to put this on the ballot. But really, the victory also came about because of the very organized community in Anaheim and the amazing work of the ACLU's communications department. There were seemingly endless interviews that Bardis and Belinda were doing about this case, and we even got some inquiries up in Northern California about this case. And for me, I have a special soft spot for the communications department because when I worked for the ACLU back in the 1996 or 97, I went to the biennial and I met the ACLU of Southern California's communications director. We were both there working on ACLU issues, and he's here as my husband today. And we brought our kids to raise the next generation of ACLU civil rights lawyers. And Robert brought his daughter also, so we're raising more ACLU civil rights lawyers out there. Anyway, the ACLU was amazing. Bardis and Belinda, their passion for this case really inspired me. They were on the ground in community meetings, in the media, and also writing lots and lots of words on paper for the court. And I thank you for the opportunity to work with the ACLU. And there is still a lot of work to be done in California on voting rights, unfortunately, in this day and age. But I look forward to working with the ACLU to secure more voting rights victories. Thank you.
Belinda.